All right, we're good. You can go. You can go. All right, and we are live. We are jumping right into the action. This is game one of the Junior League Backyard League semifinals. Essentially, our version of our division series for each respective league. We have the Chargeider Blue Fishes and Cap'n Munch Texas Rangers. So we're jumping right into the action here. We've got our first batter, Zoe Mallory, who's playing third base today. She is behind in the count, 1-2, and there it is, strike three, the first strikeout for Leah Wayne. So we'll get to Leah Wayne in just a second, the starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers. So with one out after a quick strikeout, that brings up Alex Gonzalez playing first base. So as I mentioned, Leah Wayne, the starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers, she recently won the MVP of the Backyard League in the JL. She is a dual threat player, kind of like Shohei Ohtani. And here's a bunt from Agon, but quickly picked up by Leah Wayne and thrown to Paco Kaufman over at first base. So quickly, 2 outs, and the base is empty for the runner-up in the MVP race, and that's Fred Benson. Fred Benson, always a power threat, as he looks at ball one, down and inside. Here comes the pitch. High and inside. So as you can see, everyone's pretty scared of Fred. He's one of the prolific power bats in the game, so... Oh, that one caught a little bit too much. That is deep. That is going back. Will it get over the fence? It hits off the top of the fence and bounces back. Veronica Lee in right field picks it up, throws it in, and just inches away from a home run from Fred Benson. So it's a 2-out double, and that brings up the second of this duo power threat in this lineup, Fabienne Callahan, who's playing left field today, a little bit out of position than normal, as she looks at a high ball one. And pitch number 2 is also a ball down. So Fabienne, another power threat, also going to get some pitches that are probably outside of the zone. Not a lot of quality pitches to be seen here. As you can tell, already 3 balls, no strikes. And will this be a walk? It is a take all the way. It is ball 4, and Fabienne Callahan is on first base. So from 2 outs, nobody on, to 2 outs, 2 on, Fred Benson and Fabienne Callahan. And that brings up Rachel the Good La Buena, playing center field today. She had a good season batting for the Fishes as she fouls off the first pitch. As Leah Wayne getting a little bit tired now, up to 14 pitches. That's the 15th pitch, but that is a strike. So Rachel La Buena down in the count quickly, 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 just nicks the bottom of the corner, and the Rangers escape. So the Fishes threaten in the first inning there on a long double from Fred Benson and a walk from Fabienne, but a strikeout from Leah Wayne. So 2 strikeouts in the inning from the MVP herself. And that'll take us to the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off is one of 2 All-Stars for the Texas Rangers, and that is Maynard McElroy, the center fielder, as he swings and misses. Strike 1. He takes pitch number 2 for a ball, high and inside. He swings and hits a sharp grounder to third base. Zoe Mallory dives, picks it up, throws to first, not in time. So Maynard McElroy, as I mentioned just now, he was one of 2 All-Stars for the Texas Rangers. Batted a .571 on the year. That brings up Kathy Wolf. And Maynard McElroy is going to attempt to steal, but goes back to first. So a hit and run wisely goes back to first. As Kathy Wolf looks at pitch number 1, that was a ball. Here comes the next pitch. That's another sharp grounder. That's going to take a hop. Picked up by Alex Gonzalez. Thrown to second base. Not in time. And all of a sudden, 2 on, nobody out. So as you can see, the Texas Rangers, who are the 2 seed in the backyard, you can see why they won so many games, especially at home. They were 7-0 here at Dirt Yards, and you can see why. They use the grounder, and they use it well. They use their speed, they use the bounces, and they put pressure on the defense. So with 2 on and nobody out, that brings up the MVP, the All-Star, Leah Wayne, who is a top 4 player in the league for a reason. As she watches 3 balls get thrown to her, will she get walked? Will she get a walk here with 2 on and nobody out? She will. So maybe an unintentional, intentional walk, and that is quite the visual glitch there, as Maria Luna is a giant. Marina Luna is on the screen on the way to first base. So bases loaded, nobody out. This is a big threat here in the bottom of the first inning. Wing Kwan, the pitcher, we'll get to him in a little bit. Wing Kwan throws another ball. That's 5 straight balls now by Wing Kwan, who's already up to 10 pitches with nobody out. And there is ball number 6 in a row. So Veronica Lee with bases loaded ahead in the count 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Just catches the bottom corner. Strike 1. Wing Kwan needed that. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Still a favorable count for Veronica. The pitch swung on and another sharp grounder. Zoe Mallory's going to pick it up. Throw it. She's not going to tag Kathy Wolf, and the ball gets away. Is it going to go out of play? It's picked up. And it's, oh my goodness, what a glitch. Let's break down that play in a second. Where are the runners going to end up? They're going to end up at second and third. So a sharp ground ball. It's picked up by the third baseman, Zoe Mallory. Doesn't get the tag on Kathy Wolf. Throws it to the shortstop, Felix Grant, who throws it back to third base. And that's a sharp ground ball, but foul. And it looked like the Fishes were able to pick it up, but the game called it out of play. So what could have been an out at home plate turns into 2 runs, and it's 2-0 Rangers, 2 on, nobody out. And we've got Paco Kaufman up to the plate, quickly down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes, swings, it hits a little line drive to second base, caught by Fred Benson. As Leah Wayne is attempting to go home, and she is tagged out. My goodness, a misplay there by the Texas Rangers. They thought about going home, then went back, but it was too late. They got caught in a pickle. And so now the Texas Rangers have 2 outs and 1 on. Runner on second base, Veronica Lee. That brings up Derek McCatter. Veronica Lee is attempting to steal. She's caught in a pickle now. Are the Rangers going to run themselves out of this inning? They are. Tagged out. My goodness. So the Rangers still get 2 runs, but from bases loaded, nobody out, to running themselves out of that inning, it could have been worse for the Fishes, but still 2-0 is a good start. They'll take that, but it could have been more had there not been some base running errors. So we head to the top of the second, and that brings up Ronnie Dobbs playing catcher today, who swings and fouls that one off. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. Ronnie Dobbs, who was always a power threat himself, but kind of struggled this season as he takes a good pitch there, just low, ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ronnie Dobbs really struggled, fouls it away, 1-2 still. Really struggled this season. He ended up batting, by the end of the year, 171, which was far and away, fouls off another pitch, so a good at bat here from Ronnie Dobbs. Far and away the worst hitter on the team, 171, over 100 points worse than the next batter. As he swings and misses, strike 3, and Leah Wayne collects her 3rd strikeout. So 4 outs, and 3 of them strikeouts for Leah Wayne. So a good start for the pitcher here of the Texas Rangers, and that brings up Wing Kwan. So a little pitcher-on-pitcher action here with 1 out, nobody on. The pitch, too high, ball 1. Wing Kwan, the main pitcher for the Fishes, but also pretty good offensive season as he swings, hits a soft grounder to second base. Derek McCattery picks it up, and there is 2 out. So I just said he had a good offensive season, then he hits a weak grounder to second, so we'll call that the caster's curse. That's my fault. So it brings up Felix Grant playing shortstop, and Felix Grant rips that one to left field. Cindy Chang going back, and she is not going to get it. That's a ground rule double for Felix Grant. So Cindy Chang looked like she might have got under it for a second. There was a slight readjustment. She maybe lost it in the sun. And just like the first inning, with 2 outs, we get a double. So can the Fishes take advantage of another 2-out double as we get Artie Pimbleton batting 9th today? Swings and fouls off pitch number 1. So Artie Pimpleton, not usually the number 9 hole, but Chargeider is notorious for always switching around his lineup. So of course he's got a different lineup than he normally seems to have. As Artie Pimpleton swings and misses, and Leo Wayne is cooking in the first 2 innings. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. My goodness. So once again, a 2-out double is wasted by the Fishes, and we head to the bottom of the second inning. 2-0 Rangers. So we'll start things off with Derek McCattery, the second baseman for the Texas Rangers. Derek McCattery, who was acquired via trade and played 8 games for the Texas Rangers, swings and misses, strike 1. The Rangers wanted some pitching depth behind Leo Wayne, so they went out and traded for Derek McCattery. That's a soft ground ball up the line, picked up by Wing Kwan. Just gets the out by a step and a half. So a good play there from the pitcher. Not an easy play, and that is 1 out. That brings up Cindy Chang, the left fielder, who just had that misplay there in the top half of the inning. Cindy Chang, who does not have a lot of power at all, but she's got the speed to get on base. She was still able to bat .471, almost batting .500 on the year, which is really good for a player that has 1 power out of 100. That's quite the stat to have. And there's another bunt from Cindy Chang. She is going to make it to first base in time, as Ronnie Dobbs, the catcher, is not able to get that one in time. So you can see why she batted almost .500 there. She's got a lot of speed. So speed on the base path here with 1 out, and the shortstop, Donald Vogel, is up to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Cindy Chang thinking about going to second, but wisely goes back. So another hit and run, and the runner retreats. So 1 strike on Donald Vogel. Donald Vogel, who batted .378 for the year, swings and pops this one up. Who's going to get it? Alex Gonzalez takes care of that. Cindy Chang gets back to first in time. So 2 outs, and we get to the number 9 hitter for the Rangers. That is Thor Herring. Thor Herring, who had never been drafted before in the history of the Backyard Baseball League, swings at the first pitch, and he pops it up. Alex Gonzalez, not going to make the catch, but he's going to collect himself, throw to first base in time, as Thor Herring is quite slow. So the Fishes are able to get out of the inning. So we're back to the top of the lineup for both teams here in the top of the third. So top of the third, Zoe Mallory, 0 for 1 with a strikeout to start off the third inning. The first pitch just clips the top of the zone, strike 1. So quickly down 0-1. Leo Wayne is really throwing a lot of strikes. A swing and a pop-up to Derek McCattery at second base. This is not an easy play for Derek. He's not known for his defense, and you see why. He fumbles the ball, drops it, and safe at first base is Zoe Mallory. So an error allows a base runner here to start off the third inning, and that brings up Alex Gonzalez, who grounded out the first time up. And he lays down another bunt. Leo Wayne collects herself. She's going to try for the out at second. She gets it just in time, as Zoe Mallory was sliding in, but the throw just gets there. Very risky to go for the lead runner, but it pays off just barely. So 1 out now. Alex Gonzalez takes over first base, and Fred Benson is back up, who hit that long double, who was just inches short of a home run in the first inning. Swings and misses at the first pitch, and watches that one go too low, so 1 ball, 1 strike. So don't know if we're going to see another walk here, as that one's also too high, but just barely. So maybe pitching around Fred Benson, but not, just a straight auto walk, as he watches, almost caught the zone, but just too low. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Maybe we will get a walk. Swing and a miss. Fred Benson did not want to accept his walk. He wanted something more. So 3 balls, 2 strikes now. The pitch swung on and just hit foul. So a good pitch, but a good swing to stay alive. And we get another payoff pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Leo Wayne. The windup, the pitch. And that is a take all the way, as that is well too high. And so Fred Benson does, in fact, take his walk. And so 2 on, 1 out for Fabienne Callahan. Fabienne, who was acquired via trade, one of the 7 players that was acquired via trade for the Fishes. They made the most trades of any team by a good amount this season, and they traded for Fabienne and Alice Gonzalez in the same deal, so they both played 9 games. Fabienne finished batting .429 for the season with 2 home runs, and he's going to be looking to get a home run here, as that is well low. Ball number 1 from Paco Kaufman, the new pitcher. And that is ripped to left field. Cindy Chang is going back. She is not going to get there. That's a ground rule double. And the Fishes are on the board. So, I haven't even talked about when these two teams first played. They played week 8 of the regular season here at Dirt Yards. The Texas Rangers won that game 1-0, so we've already tripled our offensive output from the first game, and it's not even through the 3rd inning here. So we're already seeing much better offense from both coaches, as Rachel the Good La Buena, who struck out her first time, comes up to the plate and looks at ball 1. So now we've got runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 out for Rachel La Buena as she takes another pitch low, ball 2 from Paco Kaufman. So Paco Kaufman coming in to fill in for Leah Wayne, who, as that one's fouled away, 2-1. Leah Wayne threw a lot of strikeouts there, but it was not getting the juice boxes that you would hope. As here comes the pitch, fouled away again by Rachel La Buena. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leah Wayne not getting the juice box she needed, so a lot of pitches, a lot of strikeouts, and they have to go to the bullpen kind of early here. As Rachel La Buena hits a soft ground ball, Fred Benson's going to try to score, and he will not. He is tagged out at home. So aggressive base running there from Mr. Chargeider does not pay off, as Paco Kaufman collects it, throws to home in plenty of time to get the out. So 2 on, 2 out now for Ronnie Dobbs, who struck out his first time, as he swings and misses at strike 1. So Ronnie Dobbs, as I mentioned, 171 on the year. Really struggling at the plate as he fouls off pitch number 2. So quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. As he takes a good take there. 2 low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ronnie Dobbs did have 2 home runs. He's going to be looking to add on to that total, but that is not a home run. That is a swing and a miss. And Ronnie Dobbs, 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. He'll be looking to make a better effort next time he's up to the plate. But for right now, the inning is over, but not before the Fishes cut the lead in half. It is now 2-1 Rangers. And we have another pitching change, our first pitching change for the Fishes. They bring in the batter who just struck out, Ronnie Dobbs. Ronnie Dobbs, who has pitched the 2nd most innings for the Fishes this season, as he throws ball 1 and then gets a swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1-1 on Maynard McElroy, as the Rangers are back to the top of their lineup. Swing and a sharp ground ball to Zoe Mallory. She is not going to get there in time, and that is Dirt Yards for you. It looked like Zoe Mallory was all on top of that, but it gets by her, and just like the first inning, Maynard McElroy is on first base with a ground ball. And that brings up Kathy Wolf, who's first pitch swinging, and she is also going to get on. So just like the first inning, 2 ground balls from Maynard and Kathy, and we've got Maynard trying to go to third here. He trips, he falls, he's now caught in a pickle. And Chargeider is just going to run him back to the base. So Maynard McElroy tried to advance on a drop from the pitcher Ronnie Dobbs, but gets back to second base. So deja vu all over again. Leah Wayne is up to bat as she takes low and inside ball 1. Leah Wayne, who was not intentionally, but intentionally walked her first at bat. She swings and hits a high fly ball into center field. Rachel La Buena is back. She is under it and she makes the catch. Maynard McElroy tags and is going to get to third base. Or maybe I spoke too soon. He does get to third base. Okay, the throw went into the cutoff man. So a somewhat productive out there as the runner advances to third base, but Leah Wayne is not looking to sacrifice outs, as first pitch swinging, Veronica Lee out at first base, and Maynard McElroy now is in a little bit of a pickle. He's turning around, he's going home, he trips, he falls, the ball gets away! Ronnie Dobbs, the pitcher, covering home plate. It looked like they had Maynard McElroy dead to rights, but another costly errors. That is two costly errors that have led to 2 runs as Paco Kaufman comes up and tries to bunt his way on, but misses that bunt attempt. So 2 costly errors now leads to 2 runs, and the Rangers have a 3-run lead. So they're back to a 2-run advantage as Paco Kaufman swings and misses. So Paco Kaufman is quickly down 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ronnie Dobbs gets out of trouble, but not before the Rangers go back up by 2 on the error from the catcher, Ronnie Dobbs. The poor kid is just so short, the ball went right over his head. I mean, what are you going to do? So the Rangers tack on a run. They are back ahead by 2. It's 3-1 now as we head to the top of the 4th inning. And the pitcher turned shortstop, Wing Kwan, comes up to bat. 0 for 1 today with a ground out. As Paco Kaufman stays in to pitch and pitches high, ball 1. Here comes the pitch, swung on and fouled away, 1-1. So Paco Kaufman stays in the pitch. Had that strikeout there to end the 3rd inning. Now is behind in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. So Wing Kwan looking to get on base and start something here for the Fishes. As that one just drops into the top of the zone, 2-2 now from Paco Kaufman. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on in a little doinker up the first base line. Leo Wayne comes down from first base to make the grab. So a good play there, because if that would have gotten down, that would have been trouble with the speedy Wing Kwan. But Leo Wayne comes in and makes the catch. So 1 away for Felix Grant, who hit a long ground rule double his first at bat. But that is first pitch swinging, ground ball to the 3rd baseman, Kathy Wolf, who collects herself, throws over to first base. And Felix Grant is retired. So quickly 2 outs. Not quite what the Fishes were hoping for after a long bottom of the 3rd as Artie Pimpleton takes ball 1. So hopefully the Fishes are looking for another 2-out rally here with their all-star Artie Pimpleton, who takes ball 2 now. And looks at ball 3, so Artie Pimpleton ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. And we're going to see another timeout and probably another pitching change. We are, in fact, going to see a pitching change. So Leah Wayne comes back in to pitch. She's inheriting a 3-0 count. She winds up, throws, and that is a take all the way strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Artie Pimpleton. The pitch swung on, and that is drilled to center field. Maynard McElroy runs in, is under it, and drops the ball. Maynard McElroy looked like he had it all sized up there, but drops it. So another error from the Texas Rangers, who actually won the Gold Glove Award, a team that only had 18 logged errors on the year, have 2 errors now in 4 innings. So usually the sure-handed Texas Rangers are giving away some free outs here. So we're back to the top of the lineup. Zoe Mallory, who looks at a ball, so she's got 2 balls, 1 strike in her count. So the Texas Rangers giving away some outs here. Let's see if it comes back to hurt them. The windup fouled away by Zoe Mallory, who singled her second time up in the 3rd inning. Swings and drills that one into the gap. Cindy Chang, it's going to get by. It's going to get by. Cindy Chang is running, picks it up, throws it in, trying to get to second base is Zoe Mallory, and she does. Going home is Wing Kwan, who wisely retreats back to 3rd base. So, deja vu again. Man, this game just has all kinds of themes here. Again, 2 quick outs, and again, we get some runners on base for the Fishes. So Alice Gonzalez with the chance to maybe cut the deficit or tie this game. Swings and fouls off pitch number 1. So runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs still. Alice Gonzalez swings and fouls that off again. So quickly down 0-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled away. Good fight on a good pitch. So still 0-2 to Alice Gonzalez. As he watches and fouls that one away. Looked like it was going to be too high, but didn't want to take the chance on 0-2. So still 2 strikes. The pitch, much too high. Ball 1. So a good at bat here from Alice Gonzalez. Leah Wayne getting a little bit tired. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Alice Gonzalez leaves the runners stranded at second and third. So once again, the Fishes threaten with 2 outs, but they do not score. And the Rangers keep their 3-1 advantage heading into the bottom of inning number 4. So Wing Kwan is back on the mound for the Fishes, and Derek McCattery, who's 0 for 1 today, ground out his first time up, comes up and watches that one, ball 1, low and inside. As pitch number 2 was also low and inside, so same spot. Here comes the pitch, and that is ripped down the right field line, going back. Will he make the catch? He will not. Dives and gets by the right fielder. Picks it up, throws it into second base. And that is a stand-up double for Derek McCattery, who's going to go for 3. But wisely goes back to second. So a stand-up double here from Derek McCattery to lead off the inning. As the right fielder, Artie Pimpleton, was not able to get there in time to make the catch. And that brings up Cindy Chang, who lays down a bunt to try to advance the runner. But the runner's not going, and the runner is out at first. Oh, my goodness. And now Derek McCattery is caught in a pickle. The throw, still in a pickle, getting chased down and out. My goodness, the squeeze play. I mean, another base running error there from the Rangers. They have a 3-1 lead, but it could be more. I mean, that's 3 outs now that the Rangers have just run themselves into. So a couple of errors there from the Rangers haven't come back to hurt them, but we go from, a runner on third to 1 out to nobody on with 2 outs. So Donald Vogel with bases empty, 2 outs, quickly down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is outside, ball 1. So Donald Vogel looking to extend this inning. The 1-2 pitch swung on and a little soft looper to the first baseman, Alice Gonzalez, who catches that one and ends the inning. So a very entertaining 4 innings down, 2 innings to go as we head into the top of the 5th inning with the heart of this lineup up. We've got Fred Benson, Fabienne Callahan, and Rachel LaBuena coming up to the plate. So this is maybe do or die here for the Fishes here as we are in the top of the 5th. If they don't get something from the heart of their order here, they could be in trouble going into the 6th inning as Fred Benson looks at 2 quick balls. So 2 balls, no strikes here to Fred as they take ball number 3. So again, Leah Wayne pitching around Fred Benson, but I don't know if she has the stamina to really do this. Swing and a miss from Fred Benson. Fred Benson again not accepting his walk. He is going to make Leah Wayne work. The 3-1 pitch, and that is ball 4. So another walk for Fred Benson. And we'll see what the Rangers do here. Leah Wayne getting a little bit tired. Now has thrown 3 walks, 2 to Fred Benson, 1 to Fabienne Callahan, who, speaking of, is up to the plate. So, yes, we are going to get a timeout, and we are going to get a pitching change here. It is Paco Kaufman coming back in to pitch. So, Fred Benson on first, nobody out for the power threat, Fabienne Callahan, who looks at a high, ball 1. So will Paco pitch to Fabienne because Fabienne is the tying run and certainly has the power to do so, as that is a strike just at the bottom of the zone, just clips it. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Fabienne as she takes low it away, ball number 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Fabienne looking to tie this game. Swings and hits a long fly ball that is back at the wall. Go! Tie game! Fabienne Callahan ties this game, so the walk comes back to hurt the Rangers, and we have new life in this semifinal game. Fabienne Callahan, as the ball actually bounced back inside the field of play, so it goes down as a home run of 157 feet, but that was much longer than 157 feet. So Rachel LaBuena comes up to bat here with a brand new ball game. The score all tied up 3-3. Bases empty, nobody out, as she swings and fouls off pitch number 1. And she swings and hits a line drive to the shortstop, Donald Vogel, who drops it. Paco Coffin picks it up, and safe at first base will be Rachel LaBuena. So the Texas Rangers kind of falling apart here, giving up a game-tying home run, and now a bobble from their shortstop. And look who it is. It is the captain of this team, who I've really been harping on, Ronnie Dobbs. He swings and hits a line drive to center field. That's going to get down and get by Maynard McElroy. There it is. Ronnie Dobbs finally coming to life in this semifinal as Rachel LaBuena runs into third base. And Ronnie Dobbs finally delivers. He's been ice cold, but not anymore. So running on first and third, nobody out. And my goodness, the Fishes, who I said they really need to get something. A swing and a drive to left field. That's in the gap. It gets by Cindy Chang. The Fishes are going to take the lead. Rachel LaBuena scores, and all of a sudden, with nobody out, the Fishes are ahead 4-3. Runners on first and second now for Felix Grant, and we get a timeout. A wise timeout here from the Rangers. They need to collect themselves. We're going to get a pitching change as well. So Donald Vogel comes in to pitch. Donald Vogel, who does not normally pitch, as Felix Grant rips that one to left field, but caught by Leah Wayne, who makes a good play at shortstop. So finally, the first out of the inning occurs, and we get Artie Pimbleton up to the plate. So pitching here is Donald Vogel, and as I said, Donald Vogel really did not pitch much. He only faced 7 batters all season, had 2 strikeouts and 1 walk, only threw 25 pitches. So an unlikely pitcher here, as he's quickly down 2-0, 2 balls, no strikes to Artie Pimbleton. The 2-0 pitch, swung on and driven, but right at the shortstop, Leah Wayne, an infield fly is called. That looked better coming off the bat, but it just died. And so 2 outs now, back to the top of the lineup. Zoe Mallory coming up to bat. 2 for 3 today with a double and a single, as she takes ball 1 high. So the Rangers are 1 out away from getting out of this. They've given up the lead, but they are doing their best to try to at least get to the bottom of the 5th with their big bats coming up. As Zoe Mallory swings and hits a line drive into center field, it gets by Maynard McElroy. This could be another run for the Fishes. Ronnie Dobbs is using his little legs to run all the way home. He's going to make it. Will they send Wing Kwan? They will. Excuse me, Artie Pimbleton. Artie Pimbleton is running home. Artie Pimbleton stumbles, turns around, and Artie Pimbleton is caught in a pickle, and he's going to get tagged out. My goodness. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not sure why Artie Pimbleton turned around. That could have been another run, but the Fishes will take it. They score 4 in the inning and now lead 5-3 as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. So the Rangers, who kind of fell apart there, they're looking now to collect themselves on offense. They certainly have the offensive firepower to do it at dirt yards. They averaged over 5 runs a game at home, so they certainly are not out of it. This game is a long ways from over here with 2 innings left to play, as they have their number 9 hitter up, Thor Herring. So Thor Herring 0 for 1 today on a soft ground out to the first baseman. Take strike number 1 from the pitcher, Ronnie Dobbs. So Ronnie Dobbs back into pitch for Wing Kwan. Gets ahead in the count, 1 strike. And just misses low and inside for ball 1. So 1-1 now to Thor Herring. Thor Herring, who I mentioned had never been drafted before ever in the history of the Backyard Baseball League, had a respectable season as Ronnie Dobbs throws a power-up pitch. And the out is, oh my goodness. So if you didn't know, if you get a hit on a power-up pitch, you earn yourself a batting power-up. So that was a risky power-up pitch there from Ronnie Dobbs, but it works out as the third baseman collects it and throws it over to first base in time to get the out. As Maynard McElroy swings and hits a ground ball to the shortstop, picked up by Zoe Mallory, and just gets the out at first base. So for the first time today, Maynard McElroy is retired. And with 2 outs and nobody on, that brings up Kathy Wolf, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. So Kathy Wolf will be followed by Leah Wayne. So you'd really love to get Kathy Wolf on with the home run threat that Leah Wayne is, representing the tying run. But Kathy Wolf swings and misses and quickly down 1-2 strikes. So the payoff pitch from Ronnie Dobbs, swung on and missed, strike 3. Kathy Wolf is retired. And we head to the 6th inning. Ronnie Dobbs doing it himself on offense and defense. And so we head into the final inning with the Fishes storming back, leading 5-3 and looking to add on. So we start the inning here with Derek McCattery taking over pitching duties, facing Alice Gonzalez, who looks at strike 1, top of the zone. Derek McCattery, who, as I mentioned, only played 9 games, was acquired via trade, as that ball is high. 1 strike. Acquired via trade to pitch, and is just now coming into pitch as the 4th pitcher of this game, as that one is also high. 2 strike. Derek McCattery faced 22 batters, had a 1.33, faced 22 batters and had a 1.33 ERA. As Alice Gonzalez strikes out, and you can see why Derek McCattery was acquired to pitch, as he does just that and pitches out of a bad count to get Alice Gonzalez. So that brings up Fred Benson with the bases empty, and that is a meatball to Fred Benson. He drills it, but right at Maynard McElroy, who drops the ball again. Another error, and then he fumbles the throw, and Fred Benson gets a standing double. So Maynard McElroy, who only had 1 logged error the whole season coming into the game, has 2. My goodness, that is just quite the turn of events. So with Fred Benson on second base now, that brings up Fabian Callahan, who hit the game-tying home run just last inning, as we're going to get another pitching change here for the Texas Rangers. They're dealing with some stamina issues, you can see on the screen. Several tired players here. So Paco Kaufman back into pitch, as another ball is thrown, so 2 balls, no strikes, and we may be getting a walk here. And that is not a walk, that is drilled deep to left field, back at the wall, gone! Fabian Callahan with another 2-run home run, and that's more insurance runs for the Fishes. They now lead 7-3. Boy, oh boy, I really thought the Rangers were going to walk Fabian with first base open, because you walk Fabian and she turns into a 2-speed here at Dirt Yards. I mean, the chances of her getting around to score are slim to none. So they decided not to walk her with first base open, and she makes them pay again. My goodness, this is a legacy game for Fabian Callahan. 2 2-run home runs. So Rachel Abuena now with 1 out, looks at strike 1 and now strike 2 at the bottom of the zone. So quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. As she swings and fouls that one away to stay alive. Rachel Abuena 2 for 3 today, having a solid day at the plate as well, as she takes ball 1 high and inside. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That is down and away, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Rachel Abuena already having a good at-bat here, 5 pitches. And now we see an elevator pitch, and that is popped up to first base. Standing under it is Leah Wayne, but she misses the ball! And the Fishes, already ahead by 4, have earned themselves a power-up hit. Now, will they use it? Will they save it? We may not even see it, because with the 4-run lead, they may just keep it in their back pocket, but they may want even more insurance runs. So we'll see here, as Paco Kaufman, who is really getting tired up there at the plate, and might time out here. There's no timeout being called, but a pitch needs to be thrown, and just gets the pitch off before the timer expired, and that is a ball. So we will get a timeout, and we're going to get another pitching change here, and some defensive realignments. And as you can see, the stamina is really an issue right now for the Rangers. They are really behind the 8 ball now as Leo Wayne comes back into pitch as Ronnie Dobbs swings and fouls that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Leah Wayne, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. She's back into pitch and just clips the bottom of the zone. Strike 2. So looking to get the second out here is Leah Wayne. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Down and away. Good take from Ronnie Dobbs on the hook. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As that is lifted. Soft fly ball to the pitcher. Bobbled but caught by Donald Vogel, the shortstop. So good job backing up the pitcher there by Donald Vogel. And there are 2 away. And that brings up Wayne Kwan, the pitcher. 1 for 3 on the day. Swings and drills that one down the right field line. It's off the wall. Maynard McElroy running over to pick up the ball. Throws it in. Rachel Abuena is going to get to third standing up. And running to second base now is Wing Kwan as the ball gets away from Thor Herring. But he picks it up before it goes out of play. So my goodness, what could have been another error there from the Rangers. They just pick it up before it goes out of play. So the Fish is not done yet. They're looking to add even more insurance runs and really put this thing away as Felix Grant comes up to the plate and watches a low ball 1. So 2 on, 2 out now. After what gets ruled as a double, even though it was a single and then an advancement on the throw, it'll get ruled as a double in backyard baseball. As Leah Wayne comes back and throws a strike on 2-0, so 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch swung on and popped up to the catcher, Thor Herring, running out to get it. Leah Wayne picks it up, throws to first, and just in time gets the slow Felix Grant. So finally, the Fishes are retired, but not before they have another 2-run home run from Fabienne Callahan. And the Fishes with a commanding 4-run lead as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. So it's the last gasp for the Texas Rangers here, looking to avoid the upset at home. As Leah Wayne swings and hits a ground ball back to the pitcher. It's picked up and thrown to first base in plenty of time. And that is not what you want out of your MVP there, as she grounds out and is the first out in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that brings up Veronica Lee, who's moved over to play center field after Maynard McElroy had those 2 errors. Looks at ball 1, swings and fouls that one away. So 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rangers need to get something. They need base runners. As Veronica Lee swings and misses. So now down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch swung on, and that's a sharp ground ball to second base. It's pulled Alice Gonzalez off of first, so Veronica Lee gets on. And there is a base runner for the Rangers, so looking to get something going here with 1 out. That brings up Paco Kaufman, who's 0 for 2 today with 1 strikeout. Here comes pitch number 1, swung on and hit into the gap. There was a shift being played. Veronica Lee is going to make it to second base, and Paco Kaufman is on at first base. So here we go. It's not over yet, folks. 2 on, 1 out, and Derek McCattery, who's already got a double, comes up to the plate as we get a timeout from the Fishes. And I think we're going to see a pitching change, as you can see the Rangers doing some defensive maneuvering themselves just in case they send it to extra innings. So we see Rachel Abuena come into pitch as first pitch swing that is drilled into the gap. Running back is Fred Benson. Cannot make the play. It's a drop. Everyone's going to be safe. No, everyone's not going to be safe. It's an out at second base. Oh my goodness, Paco Kaufman, he must be exhausted, because I thought he was going to get in with plenty of time, but he is not. So a run does score, and now it's 7-4 for Cindy Chang. 2 outs though. So the Rangers are down to their final outs. Runner on. Cindy Chang up to the plate, bunts and fouls that one away and lays down a good bunt there, but the defense was shifted in. They pick it up, throw to first, and that is your ball game. Fishes win 7-4, and they steal game 1. So for the first time all year, The Rangers lose at
Well,
home.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Imagine asking other people to play more than not playing. Alright, so how's everyone doing? Okay, okay. I don't know. Whatever you guys want. Gotta build it for real, for real. I think he's
Yes,
gone. Or never mind, he's not gone.
I'm here. I'm here. I mean, I would be down for a post game analysis. I'd love to get a screenshot of the stats from someone if I could.
I'm hopping off now, but yeah, peace out.
All right, GG's, GG's. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't see that Chargatter posted them. Perfect. All right. Um, what if I streamed my screen so you could see the stats? All right, let me do that. All right, yeah, you ready? All right, so do a little post game analysis here. That was a thrilling, thrilling game. My goodness, really well played from both sides. A lot to take away going into game two. I'm not sure when game two is scheduled for, but a lot of things happen. A lot of things to break down. So looking at the stats here for the Fishes batting, everybody got a hit, so everybody contributed 17 hits, which I'm pretty sure they only had maybe 5 hits or 6 hits the first time they played here at Dirt Yard. So they kind of changed their offensive strategy around. They changed the lineup, kind of went top heavy there with Zoe, Alex, Fred, and Fabian, and then kind of kept Wing, Felix, and Artie at the bottom. Usually they like to separate them out a little bit more. But I think it worked out for them because they put a lot of pressure on the pitching staff of the Rangers. Zoe Mallory, 3 for 4, a home run short of the cycle. Aegon had a not so great day at the plate, 1 for 4 with a single, but did score a run. Fred Benson, doing what Fred Benson does, 2 doubles, 2 runs, 2 auto walks, which helps set up Fabian Callahan's legacy game. As you can see, 3 for 3, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. If we were still doing players of the week, she would probably be a shoo-in for that award. Ronnie Dobbs finally breaks out of his slump with a big single that scored a run. Felix Grant got a hit on that big ground rule double, even though nothing came of it, unfortunately for him. Artie Pimbleton, usually a little bit better at the plate. He'd been having a pretty good season, as I mentioned. He was an all-star. He only goes 1 for 3 with a single. But as you can see, 17 hits, 6 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. So Chargauder is a team that had a lot of extra base hits in the beginning of the year. Offense kind of went cold in the middle portion, kind of picked it back up towards the end of the year. And even in their quarterfinal matchup against Depp, they only ended up scoring 5 runs in those 2 games. It was enough to win the series 2 games to none, but their offense was a lot quieter. But it finally explodes. It finally looked like the offense that it had in the beginning of the season. Um, if we look at, oops, not that. If we look at the errors here, the Fishes only had 1 logged error, and that was a Fred Benson drop. But if we go to the Rangers, like I said in game, Maynard McElroy had 1 logged error in center field all season, and then he dropped 2, and both came back to haunt them. So 4 errors, which is very uncharacteristic from this Texas Rangers team. As I mentioned, they won the Gold Glove. They were the best defensive team in the backyard. So I a little bit of bad luck there. I don't think it was necessarily anything in Cap'n Munch's control. It looked like the players were lined up correctly. Maybe they were a hair off, but not doing anything different than he's been doing all season. But somehow, turns into 4 errors. Texas Rangers, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet here, but they did run themselves into several outs. If you remember the first inning, bases loaded, nobody out. They end up only scoring 2 runs, and I say only, which 2 runs is still good, but from this offense, nobody out, bases loaded, you'd kind of expect more. They ran themselves into 2 outs there. They ran themselves into another out when they tried to do a hit and run that just didn't work out. The steal was not on. The runner did not run until the out had already been recorded at first base. So some errors on the defensive side, some errors on the offensive side, and they still had a chance to win. I mean, they still had a 3-1 lead going into the 5th inning. So kind of a tale of what could have been. But another stat I want to point out here that I noticed. So we look at the Fishes pitching stats, right? The Fishes, who used a combination. Wing was the starter, and Wing pitched the most, but a combination of Rachel and Ronnie. They only threw 59 pitches. But you go back to the Rangers. The Rangers threw more than double that. The Rangers threw 116 pitches, 46 balls. So this is the team that already had one of the lowest strike-to-ball ratios in the league. They throw a lot of balls. They still throw more strikes than balls, but not by much. I believe their strike-to-ball ratio was around 1.5, which was second lowest, only to myself. So they have a pitching staff that is trying to get the strikeout, is trying to paint the corners, and they kind of ran into an issue there. Leo Wayne got tired early. They had to throw in Paco. They had to throw in Derek. They had to throw in Donald. Surprised they didn't throw in Thor. Thor Herring has pitched a little bit, although he hasn't pitched in maybe 5 or 6 games, I think, last time I checked. But they were dealing with stamina issues, which hurt them on offense because, as you remember, in the 6th inning there, Paco Kaufman could not get on base. He got thrown out at second base on what probably normally would have been maybe he's even going to third there if he had more stamina. So I think the Fishes had a good game plan. They wanted to try to get Leo Wayne tired early. They wanted to work the count. They did that. And I think it all came back there in the 5th and the 6th inning there. But still, just some costly errors from the Rangers. Not walking Fabian Callahan when it was a 5-3 game and it turned into a 7-3 game because of another 2-run home run, I think, with first base open. That should have been an auto walk, and maybe the game would have stayed 5-3, which is more manageable going into the bottom half of the 6th inning, and maybe you don't feel as much pressure to do what you need to do offensively. So really, really interesting game, really fun game. Really looking forward to game 2. Game 2 is going to be a Parks Department number 2. So a field that favors the fishes more than dirt yards, but it's still a field that the Rangers can excel at because it still has bounces, so their speed guys can still get on. Short fences might actually help some of their players like Kathy Wolf and Maynard McElroy, who might be able to, sneak a line drive over those short porches in right and left field. So really excited for game two. Got to see if, the Rangers clean up some of those errors and those mental errors. Really interested to see what the Fishes do because, like I said, they change their lineup and their defensive positioning almost every game. So, who knows what they're going to go with, if they're going to stick with, the lineup that they had and the defensive positionings that they had this game. Are they going to switch it up? Are the Rangers going to switch it up? They really haven't switched it up too much. They've had a pretty consistent lineup and defensive alignment all season. They really only make changes when they have to for pitching changes. So really interested. Game two is going to be really fun, really exciting. Advantage to the Fishes, stealing one at dirt yards, which no team had done all season. So really looking forward to game two, and we'll be back here on Twitch for game two whenever it happens. Not sure when. Maybe tomorrow, maybe during the week. But whenever that game two is scheduled, we'll be back here on Twitch streaming that one. I'll be commentating that game as well. So we hope to see you back for game number two. And I'll leave it to you, CRK. Sure, I'll say goodbye to the Twitch. We appreciate you turning in. We hope you had as much fun watching this game as we did. And like I said, we will see you right back here on the Backyard Sports Center for game number two between Cap'n Munch and Chargeider in this JL semifinal showdown. Whenever that is, we'll let you know, but we'll see you then.